Hey there, welcome. In this short tutorial, I want to show you how you can use Bubble to build a simple Chrome extension that allows you to create a prompt library for ChatGPT. So think of it as a simple way to add a window here on ChatGPT where we can manage prompts and then inject them into this text field here and also simulate a click on the submit button to actually run these prompts. For this, we're going to use bubble.io, as already mentioned, and we're also going to use buildwithcharles.io, which is a Chrome extension builder specifically made for Bubble. I'm doing this live as we go, and let's not lose any time. Let's see if I can do it in 10 minutes or less, and let's dive right in. So, first things first, let's start building our Chrome extension. Let's head over to hub.buildwithcharles.io, download the Chrome extension source files. Once this is downloaded, let's simply open it up or unzip it, and then head over to popup.js and open this in any text editor or in any code editor if you have one. And then in popup.js, what we want to do is simply change this URL into our Bubble apps URL. So let's head back to Bubble. I just created a new page. So let's preview to get the URL, selecting the full URL here without the debug mode true parameter, but I am using the version test so that every time I make a change, it's directly live in my Chrome extension. So copy this, head back here, paste this in, then let's add our Chrome extension. Simply go to this Chrome extension icon, or if you don't even see this, click on these three dots here, head over to extensions, manage extensions. This brings you here. Make sure you activate the developer mode. This will give you this load unpacked button. And then simply head to downloads or wherever you store this folder. Select the folder with the popup.js in it that we just adjusted. Hit select. And actually, we can just ignore this window. However, this will add a new Chrome extension here. So let's refresh. Okay, so here it is. So this will give us a new Chrome extension here. Let's simply pin this to the top, and whenever we click here, this will load our Bubble app as a Chrome extension. Okay, so this works. We see the same thing here as here. So we are clearly rendering our Bubble application here. So that's step one. That works. Let's quickly build a simple way to save prompts because we need to store them in order to then later, obviously, add them into ChatGPT. So real quick, let's head over to our data tab and add a new data type. I'm just going to call this prompts. This will only have one field, which is prompt minus text. Field type is text. Then let's add, and by the way, I'm not going to do this very, nice from UX point of view. This is really about showing you how the mechanics work, and I trust you can make it look much nicer than I can. So let's add a repeating group here. The type of content will be a prompt. Let's simply search for prompts. So we want to search for all the prompts. There's no further filters. We're not going even to sort this, which let's keep this super simple. Let's add a text in here. This text should be the current cell's prompt text. Good. Let's also remove the fit width to content check mark. So the full width. Good. Okay. Let's add a way to also store prompts. And for this, I'm just going to grab a component from Basis. Basis Lab, for those who don't know it, it's a really cool component library. It's a Chrome extension also built on Charles. And it allows you to copy paste different Bubble components. And the founders there have done a really great job in creating a very nice looking library of components. Okay. So let's just grab this empty or simple pop-up here. Let's paste this to our page. Good, here we go, pop-up title. Let's just call this your prompt. Let's rename this input prompt. And here we'll just put the text save prompt on the button. Okay, and then add workflow. So when this is clicked, we want to create a new thing. The thing we want to create is a prompt. We want to set the prompt text to be equal to the input prompts value. Then afterwards, we want to reset relevant inputs, and then we want to hide our pop-up. And by the way, we could also rename the pop-up, but for time reasons, I'm not gonna do this right now. Okay, let's test this. Open up our extension. And obviously we can't see the pop-up yet, and we don't have any way to show it. So let's add a button to our page, which is save new prompt. And when this is clicked, we're gonna show an element, which is obviously our pop-up. Okay, let's go again. Save new prompt. Our prompt is, and by the way, I'm missing the icon here because I haven't installed the right plugin, but let's just ignore this for now. So please write a book on bubble.io. Okay, so we save this, and so we have our first entry in our repeating group. Please write a video script on bubble.io. Okay, so we're able to save these, and obviously, even if we go to ChatGPT, this will work the same way. Next, we need a way to actually grab this text and input it into this field. So let's go back. Let's add a button here. Let's just add this here. Let's call this run. This button a bit smaller. Okay. Good. So when we run this, we want to do two things. First, we want to inject it into this input, and then second, we want to hit this icon to actually run it. So add a workflow. The first thing we want to do is to search for Charles and then populate input field. And here we need a value first, and that's current cell's prompts text. And then we need a selector. And if you're not familiar with selector, I would encourage you to watch a few YouTube videos on so-called CSS selectors. In any case, here we can probably just grab the ID or the class of this input field. So this is text area, ID prompt text area. And actually just make it super simple. Let's copy this. And in here, let's say write a CSS selector for this element. And let's just copy in or paste in what we selected. And then we should hopefully get a simple selector. Okay, regenerate. Okay, so this is our selector. So we can even use ChatGPT to build a ChatGPT plugin. Let's go back. Let's test this out. Okay, run. Okay, good. This adds our text to the input field. We can also use the second one. And now we also need to click on this. So again, inspect, right-click, inspect. Here we can probably use the button here. So if we hover here, we see that this is being selected. Let's do the same thing again. Let's just copy this, copy element. And then say write a simple or write a CSS selector for this element. Let's paste it in again. Let's see what we get. Select our selector here. So here, let's just make a quick pause, add a pause before the next action. Let's say half a second or 500 milliseconds, and then use the workflow simulate mouse click on element and paste in the selector that we just created. So let's see if this works. And hit run. Good. And this actually works. So this is a very simple way of creating a prompt library that we can then run on ChatGPT. Obviously, you can add more functions here to edit prompts, to delete prompts, to share prompts, and so on and so forth. Let me actually show you a quick way how we can make this look even nicer. So far we have only looked at kind of one element, which was popup.js. We can actually also do a few modifications so we get a nicer looking sidebar that's directly integrated in our page. So for this, I'm going to actually open all of this up in my editor. So basically what I'm going to do is my VS Code editor and just drop all of this in here. Then it loads up all my files. The first thing that I want to do is, yes, trust the authors. And actually, this is all very well described in the plugins documentation. So if you want to do something else in terms of how you want to display your app, this is all very well documented. So first thing that I want to do is head over to background.js and actually uncomment these couple of lines here. And then again, replace this URL. So I'm heading back to popup.js. Simply copying this, adding this to background.js. And then quickly also head over to manifest.js and remove this default pop-up action. Let's head back to Chrome, go to extensions, refresh. This is very important. And then let's quickly go over here, refresh our page. And then if we click here, we get a nice looking sidebar again with our prompts and so on and so forth. We can go ahead and we can run things. We could also make this look different. So instead of using this sidebar, we could use a floating modal. And again, let's make sure that we grab the right URL in here. Just paste this over. This one, again, refresh the plugin. Let's also refresh the page. And then if we click, we get this nice looking thing here. All right. Yeah, that's it. Look, took me slightly longer than 10 minutes, but I hope it was worth your time. Let me know if you have comments or questions in the comments down below. I'll try to answer as many as I can, and I'm looking forward to see you in one of my next videos.